In the headlines, after 8 months, Abuja-Kaduna train resumes services with low passenger turnout as IGP deploys security personnel. Gunmen kidnap Benue Commissioner, 3 others. PDP appoints former Speaker Yakubu Dogara as Atiku Campaign Council member. And on the international scene, at least 9 drowned during baptism ceremony in Johannesburg. Hello and welcome to Trust News Update. I'm Darshan Hussaina Usman. And now the news in detail. Train service resumes operation after months of suspension due to terrorist attack on the Abuja-Kaduna bound train, where some were killed and many abducted. The train departed Rigasa train station at 8 a.m. to Idu train station in Abuja with passengers on board, though the officials at the train station did not give the exact number of passengers boarding the train as at that time of filing this report. The train has the capacity of 664 seats but recorded low passenger turnout. Some of the passengers interviewed expressed delight with the resumption of train service and wants federal government to maintain the security arrangements in place. Tight security measures are deployed at the station with the proper check on passengers' identity and their luggage by the staff of the Nigerian Railway Corporation.
For the return of the train, and equally we appreciate the federal government, the Ministry of Transport, for all the efforts made so far to ensure that the train is back on stream.
We are happy that the trains are back. We hope and pray that this time around we will get it right in terms of security, in terms of organization and efficiency.
I'm excited to be here today on the resumption, happily on the first train that is running at 8 a.m. from Kaduna to Abuja. I actually targeted it. I wanted to be on the first trip upon resumption, and I'm happy I'm here. I'm able to get my ticket last night.
Meanwhile, the Inspector General of Police, Usman Baba, has ordered the deployment of armed personnel for the commencement of the railway services along Abuja-Kaduna route from Monday, December 5th, 2022. This is contained in a statement on Sunday by the Force Public Relations Officer, Muyiwa Adejobi. According to the statements, the deployment covers major railway stations along the route and operational coaches to provide adequate security for passengers, their property, and the entire service in order to prevent any unforeseen incidents. The IGP therefore assures the general public, especially intending passengers, of adequate protection of lives and property as all hands are on deck to fortify the rail services along the route and other rail lines across the country. Away from that story, the Benue State Commissioner for Housing and Urban Development, Ekpe Ogbu, has been kidnapped. He was kidnapped alongside Agbo-Ode with one of his in-laws and the driver. It was gathered that they were kidnapped along David Mark's farm after Akpa Otobi while on their way from Otukpo to Utonkong in Ado local government area of the state. The commissioner was said to have attended a church program where Senator Abba Moro, representing Benue South Senatorial District, dedicated his newly inaugurated campaign council to God at St. Augustine Catholic Church, Otukpo, and was going to his village in Ndekma, Utonkon District of Ado local government area after the church program before meeting the unfortunate incident at about 8:45 p.m. on Sunday, 4th December 2022. His official vehicle has since been recovered from the scene and taken to the Divisional Police Office in Otukpo. Securing lives and property of the people cannot be the sole responsibility of security agencies because of the changing face of insecurity in Nigeria. One of the strategies adopted to check the rising insecurity is the setting up of Police Community Relations Committee. In Bauchi State, these committees have attained some level of success in collaborating with the police to stem the tide of banditry and electoral offences. Trust TV's Adamu Imam completes the report.
Addressing security challenges with modern techniques cannot be the only strategy adopted within Nigerian communities to fight crime. There is a need to vary the approaches to fight crimes, and these police community relations committees want to know what to contribute to the structure put in place to tackle security challenges.
With them how to assist police for the general election coming in 2023. You know, nowadays it's not so easy to leave police to do everything within the community alone. So that we should call all our people, all our another union who concerns security to come and sit together with them to assist police with what is happening now in Nigeria, especially what is happening with INEC offices in Nigeria.
One of the key roles the committees play is obtaining secret information and alerting the police to take action without any delay.
People who are living within that area, we used to communicate with police. There are some people that we saw somehow around this area and this area. We want you to go and see what is going on there. That's the way that we used to assist them, not police alone. Even our emirs and chiefs who are living, or district head, or the one of that area, we used to send this report to them, written or verbally or through phone. We used to call them.
The Peace and Security Committee also plays a key role in checkmating criminal activities by cooperating with the security agencies in spite of their limitations.
Anytime there is some misunderstanding in some areas, our people used to call us. If they cannot be able to address the issue, we will take some additional members in our hillocks. We go there and put our own best. The Peace and Security Committee here in Bauchi is a very well-known organization that are helping the security agencies in so many ways. Like those Sarasuka people in the past, they used to come out in mass and disturb people, snatching their assets, stealing their motorcycles, committing various types of offenses.
Meanwhile, the traditional security structure within various communities confirm that their role is only to identify flashpoint and hideout of criminals and make arrests. Our relationship with police is cordial, and the knowledge we acquired. We can easily identify suspects by their movement. They are kind of guilty persons at all times, especially a strange face, and their appearance differs like innocent people, while criminals are distinctive. The security structure operatives noted that only police security outfit has a sole mandate to be at hand during the forthcoming 2023 general electioneering process. Adam Imam, Trust TV News, Bauchi.
Still on security, at least 46 people were reportedly abducted by gunmen in attacks on two separate communities in Batsari and Funtua local governments of Katsina State at the weekend. Daily Trust gathered that one person was killed as some 28 people were abducted in Karare village of Batsari local government area on Friday. The terrorists, numbering about 40, riding on motorcycles, invaded the village in the morning hours and headed off the victims, including women and children. Some of the abductees were students from Kokia village heading to Government Day Secondary School, Karare. In a related development, gunmen suspected to be bandits attacked a mosque in Maigamji village along Funtua Dandume Road and opened fire on worshippers during evening prayer. Residents of the village said the attack took place around 7:15 p.m. on Saturday. Moving on to politics, the People's Democratic Party Presidential Campaign Council has announced former Speaker of the House of Representatives Yakubu Dogara as member with immediate effect. Director General of the Campaign Council, Aminu Tambuwal, in a statement on Sunday, said Dogara's appointment is part of continuous efforts in joining hands with presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar to recover Nigeria. Dogara had of late led a group of mainly All Progressive Congress members of Northern extraction to adopt Atiku as candidate for the 2023 presidential election. The lawmaker representing Bogoro Das Tafawa Balewa Federal Constituency had condemned the APC's same-faith ticket of Bola Tinubu and Kashim Shettima. The Independent National Electoral Commission on Sunday said its office in Imo State has been attacked again. INEC National Commissioner and Chairman of Information and Voter Education Committee, Festus Okoye, disclosed this in a statement. He said the attack on its office in the Orlu West local government area of Imo State happened about 4 a.m. on Sunday. The latest attack, he noted, comes barely 3 days after suspected arsonists invaded the Commission's office in Orlu local government area. According to Okoye, Sunday's attack is the 7th of its kind on the facilities of the electoral umpire in 5 states of the Federation in the last 4 months. Nigerians, especially low-income earners who depend on kerosene as a major source of fuel for cooking, are unhappy with the recent hike in the price of the product. With the rising cost of kerosene and cooking gas, people are now constrained to use firewood or charcoal to cook their food since they cannot afford gas or kerosene. Silas Lowen takes a look at the impact of the rising cost of the commodity, what it will have on the environment. His report.
Environmentalists have warned that the country may experience a high level of deforestation, leading to severe climate change if nothing is done to bring down the prices of liquefied petroleum gas, better known as cooking gas and kerosene. It would seem that the prices of cooking gas and kerosene have soared out of the reach of citizens, and the impact is being felt by the highly vulnerable homes in the country, especially those in rural communities and low-income earners who depend on kerosene as a major source of fuel for cooking.
That cooking gas is about 10,000 plus for 12 kg is about 10,000 naira. And kerosene, I've even forgot how to use kerosene again because at first they were competing with cooking gas and I stopped it, and the effect on the environment is this. Fire hazard is one, because people are using firewood, cutting down trees and so on. It is not good for our environment. It will cause pollution, smoke, and those who are having asthma is increasing because as a result of the pollution in the atmosphere.
The price of the commodity in most of the filling stations in Adamawa is 750 and 767 per litre, and that price hike has resulted in decreased patronage from residents. It is indeed a difficult time already for Nigerians, as stakeholders acknowledge that the average Nigerian may not be able to afford the new prices of gas and kerosene, but still have to cook their food to survive.
Seriously, women were suffering. Somebody like me, I will talk about myself in particular. I've never used firewood. But this time around, we all have to learn how to manage. We use firewood, even the ordinary coal that is very cheap, as cheap as 700 per bag, now is 3,000. Truly, we are suffering. Now, it's not everybody that can now afford the gas. So you can imagine the life we are now going through.
And the kerosene are in the increase. But as mothers, we are economical. We make sure that we utilize the little resources we have because we want to make sure things are easy for us because all the hardship is on women because we have children to cater for and even our husband, we cater for them. We help them a lot.
It is also causing more problem concerning food items in the market. Everything has skyrocketed because fuel is very expensive and every other thing. So one thing is tied towards the other. So actually our markets, our economy is horrible and everybody is complaining.
Nigeria, like most parts of the world, has been dealing with soaring energy prices, including diesel, except petrol, which is still tightly regulated in the country. From Yola, Silas Lowen, Trust TV News.
You're watching Trust News Update. Coming up after the break. Why just residents patronize herbal medicine despite warnings? Do stay with us.
Now, as part of efforts to support Africa's goal of strengthening...
Now, looking at the activity chart, as you can see right here, a total volume of 130...
Created a Boko Haram crisis that at that time was restricted to Yobe.
How secure are they? You can see security men with blood.
This is the road leading up to the...
Already, if you look at England squad, you are looking at EPL, you are looking at their names. You are not looking at...
Trust TV, documenting the Nigerian story.
Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. If you're just joining us, you're watching Trust News Update. Here's a recap of some of our top stories. We told you that after 8 months, Abuja-Kaduna train resumes services with low passenger turnout as IGP deploys security personnel. You also heard that gunmen kidnapped Benue Commissioner, 3 others. Moving to other news, the federal government has commenced the implementation of the At-Risk Children program in Sokoto State. Special advisor to the President on Social Investments, Mariam Uwais, who made this known in a statement, said 1,150 youth facilitators from the state were being trained in basic education, vocational and life skills. Uwais said the basic training equips them to provide mentorship and guidance to the primary beneficiaries of the At-Risk Children program. She noted that the intervention in Sokoto was crucial in view of the rising number of out-of-school children and young people who are exposed to various forms of vulnerability in the state. At least 60,000 street children and vulnerable young people are expected to benefit from the first phase of the program. Moving to health, medical experts have continued to warn citizens against indiscriminate use of traditional remedies, particularly because of the absence of scientific research into pharmaceutical components of such herbal concoctions. Some citizens, however, remain firm in their convictions that the indigenous medicine is effective if taken in appropriate doses. Ado Musa completes the report.
Some residents find it hard to modify beliefs they have held onto for so long, which is why they patronize herbs not because they are superior to Western drugs, but because traditional medicine has over time cured their ailments. Users of herbs argue that Western medicine only reduces pain of some ailments, but herbs are often effective in healing the diseases completely. Some of these residents have come to collect herbs from this just herbal doctor. I came to collect medicine for malaria and typhoid. We come here because people enjoy his herbs. The herbs are very effective. We have noticed that the traditional medicine cures illness completely, but the modern one only subsides the disease. I came to collect medicine for my child. He was unconscious. We went to a hospital. The doctor said they couldn't identify any problem. But when we came here and collected some herbs, we are beginning to see changes in the child. Malam Hassan Ahmad is the herbal doctor in the area, said he has been giving medicine for different kinds of ailments for over 2 decades. There are different kinds of medicine here. Whichever problem you come with, by the special grace of God, we will give you the medicine to cure them. People have seen the result of taking traditional medicine because it is reliable. I give medicine for Lassa, malaria, cancer, hepatitis, among others. Medical experts have warned that the recent increase in organ failure in Nigeria is as a result of indiscriminate use of unregulated concoctions, many of which lay claim to healing all sorts of ailments. Nevertheless, these residents are ready to risk it because they believe that the traditional herbs were effective if properly used. They even claim that some professional doctors sometimes patronize the traditional herbs for some diseases. Ado Musa, Trust TV News, Jos.
Thank you, Ado, for that report. And moving on, President Muhammadu Buhari has expressed regret that some gains achieved in West Africa in fully democratizing the government space has been threatened by unconstitutional change of government as witnessed in Mali, Burkina Faso and Guinea. He spoke on Sunday in Abuja at the 62nd Ordinary Session of the ECOWAS Authority of Heads of State and Government. Kehinde Amodu reports.
A new management team is taking over at the ECOWAS Commission, led by Dr. Omar Aliu Toure. It is coming in as challenges of insecurity, unconstitutional change of government, and economic dislocations have ravaged the sub-region. The President of Nigeria is particular about setbacks to efforts of ECOWAS leaders towards deepening democracy in the sub-region. He's therefore calling on the new management team at ECOWAS to complete and review harmonization of ongoing reforms aimed at strengthening the sub-regional body.
Regrettably, some of our gains, especially in fully demonstrating our governance space, has faced and continued to face severe challenges from constitutional and constitutional change of governments as witnessed in Mali, Burkina Faso, and Guinea. The Commission must therefore work more assiduously to complete the review and harmonization of the protocols on good governance and democracy, as this would enable our sub-region to sustain our collective efforts to deepen not only democracy, but our dividends through good governance to the community citizens.
The new president of the ECOWAS Commission agrees that things have not been so bad in the West African sub-region. He insists that the response to these challenges cannot be business as usual.
Sources of insecurity in the region continue to grow, from terrorism and violent extremism to unconstitutional change of government, organized crimes, ecological crisis, and fake news. Terrorism in particular, Excellencies, has continued to threaten our region, spreading from the Sahel to the coastal states. Equally, the spate of coup d'etats and counter-coup d'etats continues to reverse the democratic gains made over the years. Indeed, Excellencies, never before has our region been faced with so many difficulties at the same time.
It is the 8th summit Nigeria has hosted under the leadership of President Muhammadu Buhari, and it may be the last as the country winds down to elections early next year. From the federal capital, Kehinde Amodu, Trust TV News.
Away from that story, now on the international scene, at least 9 people have died in South Africa after they drowned during the flash flood along the Juksei River in Johannesburg. Johannesburg Emergency Services spokesman Robert Malotsi said they were swept away during a baptism ceremony. 8 other people are still missing. Authorities say the number is expected to rise as the search and rescue operation continues. Malotsi said that 33 worshippers had gathered along the banks of the river in the Johannesburg suburb of Bramley Park for the baptism ritual. A sudden storm caused the flash flood and a strong current. Congregations often gather to conduct church rituals, including cleansing and baptism along the Juksei River, which runs along many townships, including Alexandra in the east of Johannesburg. Malotsi asked churches that carry out such ceremonies to be more aware of the storms and flash floods that are common at this time of the year. And finally, in sports, England will go up against France in the quarterfinals of the World Cup after both teams managed to progress in the round of 16 on Friday. The defending world champions were up first against Poland and shone brightly to register a 3-1 victory and get themselves into the last 8 of the tournament with a well-rounded performance at the Al Thumama Stadium. England, meanwhile, cruised past Senegal despite a shaky start to set up a last 8 meeting with France thanks to goals from Jordan Henderson, Harry Kane and Bukayo Saka. And that's it on Trust News Update. Don't forget to connect with us on all our social media platforms. I'm Darshan Husseina Usman. Thanks for watching.